Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden stories and untold secrets of some of the most iconic figures in music history. Today, we're diving into a decades-old mystery surrounding one of the most beloved members of the Mamas and the Papas, the unforgettable Mama Cass Elliot. For years, the question of who fathered Cass's only child has remained one of Hollywood's most whispered about secrets. But thanks to a shocking revelation by Michelle Phillips, the last surviving member of the Mamas and the Papas, we finally have some answers. Sit back as we explore the life of Mama Cass, her secret love life, and the mystery that Michelle Phillips recently unveiled. Mama Cass Elliot, a star larger than life. Cass Elliot, born Ellen Naomi Cohen in 1941, was one of the most recognizable voices of the 1960s. As the powerhouse vocalist of the Mamas and the Papas, Cass became a legend not just for her incredible voice but also for her vibrant, unapologetic personality. Songs like California Dreamin' and Monday solidified the group's place in music history, and Cass was at the heart of it all. While Cass Elliot was celebrated on stage, her personal life was far more private. In the late 1960s, at the height of her fame, Cass became a mother. She gave birth to her daughter Owen Vanessa Elliot in 1967, but there was one glaring mystery that surrounded the birth: the identity of Owen's father. Cass Elliot never publicly revealed who the father was, and for years, this question loomed over Hollywood like a shadow. Cass passed away in 1974 at the age of just 32, leaving behind a young daughter and a mystery that would last for decades. Michelle Phillips, the last surviving member of the Mamas and the Papas. Michelle Phillips, the striking blonde beauty and one of the founding members of the Mamas and the Papas, is the only surviving member of the legendary group. While her bandmates, John Phillips, Denny Doherty, and Mama Cass, have all passed, Michelle has continued to share stories and memories from the band's heyday, offering fans rare insights into their complicated, and often tumultuous, relationships. Michelle Phillips has long remained tight-lipped about some of the personal details regarding her bandmates, especially Cass Elliot. However, in recent years, she has started to open up about the more intimate aspects of their lives, particularly about the mystery that had surrounded the identity of Cass Elliot's daughter's father. When Owen was born, Cass Elliot was at the peak of her fame. The public adored her, but despite her openness on stage, she was extremely private when it came to her personal life. Speculation about Owen's father started almost immediately, with rumors swirling through Hollywood. Cass, however, never confirmed who the father was. There were many guesses over the years, and some even thought the father could be a famous figure. Cass was known to be romantically involved with various men in the industry, but none were ever officially linked to the birth of her daughter. In her lifetime, Cass kept the father's identity a closely guarded secret. Even as Owen grew older, the mystery remained. Was it a famous musician? A producer? Or someone else entirely? These were questions that even those close to Cass could only speculate about. Michelle Phillips, Cass's bandmate and one of her closest friends, chose not to speak about the matter. But recently, in an interview that surprised many fans, Michelle finally decided to lift the veil of secrecy. Michelle revealed that the father of Cass Elliot's child was not a famous musician or Hollywood producer, but rather a member of their close circle, one of their many friends and associates during the wild and freewheeling days of the 1960s. Michelle shared that Cass had a brief relationship with a man named Chuck Day, a talented musician who was well known in the folk and rock circles of the time. Chuck Day wasn't a household name, but he was an accomplished guitarist and songwriter who had worked with many well-known artists, including the Mamas and the Papas. Day had a reputation as a gifted musician, and his work with various artists earned him respect in the industry, even if he never achieved the same level of fame as Cass or the other members of the band. Chuck Day is perhaps best known for his work as a guitarist on many iconic recordings, but his biggest claim to fame is that he was the uncredited co-writer of the famous song Secret Agent Man, a 1966 hit for Johnny Rivers. Despite his talents, Chuck Day remained mostly behind the scenes in the music world, and his personal life was even more low-profile. According to Michelle Phillips, Chuck and Cass had a brief, casual relationship during the late 1960s, and Owen was born as a result of that relationship. Cass chose to raise Owen as a single mother, and she never sought to involve Chuck Day publicly in Owen's life. In fact, Chuck's name remained out of the public sphere for decades, and it was only after both Cass and Chuck had passed that Michelle felt it was time to reveal the truth. For Owen, this revelation answered a question she had lived with her entire life. Owen went on to follow in her mother's footsteps, working in the music industry and keeping her mother's legacy alive. But throughout her life, she had little knowledge of who her father was, other than whispers and speculation. Michelle Phillips' revelation about Chuck Day brought some closure to this chapter in Owen's life. But more than just solving a family mystery, this revelation offered fans a deeper understanding of Cass Elliott's personal life. Cass was a trailblazer in many ways. She was a single mother at a time when it wasn't easy, especially for a woman in the public eye. Despite the pressures of fame, she chose to raise Owen on her own terms, and that decision speaks volumes about her strength and independence. Remembering Mama Cass. Mama Cass Elliott's legacy is more than just her music, it's about the trail she blazed for women in the music industry, her courage to live life on her own terms, and the deep love she had for her daughter. While Michelle Phillips' revelation about Owen's father is certainly significant, it doesn't change the fact that Cass Elliott was a remarkable woman and a devoted mother. In the end, the father of Owen may have remained a mystery for decades, but what was never a mystery was the love that Cass Elliott had for her daughter. She was a woman ahead of her time, and her legacy lives on in her music and in the lives she touched. Thank you for watching this deep dive into one of Hollywood's best-kept secrets. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fascinating stories from the world of music and entertainment. And as always, let's continue to celebrate the incredible life and legacy of Mama Cass Elliott.